What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Blade, and we're back with some more disturbing horror game content. Alright, first things first, your boy got a nice, clean haircut. W haircut in the chat. And if you like my haircut, please subscribe. Couldn't have done it without y'all. Y'all help me afford this haircut. I'm joking. You know, we got a nice, clean shave. Nice, clean haircut. I know I look like a homeless man. My fully grown hair. Anyways, make sure to like and subscribe. Road to 500 subs by the end of the year. Come on. We are literally a week away. Let's get right into it. Bada bing, bada boom.
Imagine being so desperate for views on YouTube that you're willing to do anything to go viral.
That's me right now.
Even doing the stupidest thing like going to an abandoned mansion to investigate a cult, and now you're paying the price with your life. That is the basic premise of Cat in the Box. Developed and published by Gustav, Cat in the Box follows a girl who wants to become a full-time YouTuber and will do anything to achieve that, even if it's downright dangerous. She decides to become a paranormal YouTuber and investigate an old abandoned mansion, but unexpectedly, things take a dark turn when the mansion traps her inside, and she now has to fight for her life. Alright, before we begin this video, I just want to mention that the main character does not have a name. So, I decided to name her Cat. But through the end of this video, and especially the next section after that, I will be calling her the protagonist or the girl. Just want to point that out in case some people were asking why is there some inconsistency with the naming here.
Cat trapped in a ball. I didn't even say the title. The disturbing horror game is about girls and tentacles. That is a recipe for disaster if you're in Japan.
The game begins with our protagonist Cat arriving at an abandoned mansion. This mansion used to be occupied by a religious cult, but something terrible happened and in just one night the cult disappeared. This freaked everyone out and rumors spread that the place is haunted or a dangerous criminal lives there. People avoid the place entirely, but not Cat. To her, this place is a goldmine as an aspiring paranormal YouTuber. After making sure she has all her equipment, Cat turns on the camera and begins filming. As she arrives at the door, she suddenly remembers the Schrodinger's cat theory and mentioned how her situation is similar to it. Basically, she won't know whether she'll get a viral hit and make lots of money or the video will flop until she enters that door. Entering the mansion, Cat finds it odd that all the lights are on since she remembered they were off when she looked from the outside. With a smug look on her face, she describes the place as pretty and reassured her viewer that she'll capture some paranormal activity for them. She is really not taking this seriously, huh? Exploring the other room, she finds a note that reads, "Get out or you'll be cursed." Now at this point, Kat should have heeded the warning, but this YouTuber is so desperate for view and virality that she completely ignores it and proceeds to explore the other rooms. She eventually finds a door that takes her to the basement. Again, here she arrogantly says that she wants to experience the paranormal, and it would be fun if she could capture it on video. Well, as the saying goes, be careful what you wish for, because as she's exploring the basement, something terrifying happens to her. As she's reading a book inside the cult's worship room, the door behind her suddenly opens and a hooded figure appears. Kat is surprised at first and tries to strike up a conversation, but she's stopped when she sees the hooded figure pulls out a knife. Fear grips her. This person does not intend to talk and wants only to kill her. Running away like her life depends on it, she eventually managed to outrun the figure and hides behind the crate in one of the rooms. Luckily, the lights are off so the killer can't see her. After what seems like an eternity, the killer finally leaves. Shaken up by this incident, Kat finally decides to leave. Forget about virality, fame, and money. She just wants to get out. But fate is a cruel mistress. When she opens the front door, Kat is surprised to find that there is no exit. The door leads her straight into a storage room. She tries going back out and re-entering, but no matter how many times she does that, the place doesn't change. The exit has completely disappeared.
She got trapped in the genjutsu. Once you go in, you're not coming back out.
Shocked by her situation, Kat slumps down onto the floor. The realization finally hits her that she's trapped in this mansion. As she laments her bad luck, she suddenly hears a knock on the door. Surprised by this, she tries opening it to see who this person is, but the stranger blocks it off. This person reassured her that the killer has left and she's safe for now. However, they are now trapped in this mansion with no way out. All the color drains from Kat's face upon hearing that. Sensing her fear, the stranger reassured her that he'll continue searching for clues while keeping the killer distracted. Before leaving, the stranger tells Kat to search the mansion to relieve what things that could help them escape. After this, Kat wanders around the mansion searching for any clues and items that could help her escape. She returns to the basement and here she once again encounters the killer. Again, she manages to escape, but she wonders why the killer is down in the basement since the stranger promised her that they'd take care of it. She continued on and at some point finds an axe which allows her to enter a room boarded up by planks. Inside, she finds a journal left by a cult member. Upon reading it, this happened. Hilarious. Look, I just want to show you guys these bits. Turkey sandwich? What in the Resident Evil is this? Anyway, after that little detour, Kat makes her way to the second floor. Here, she sees an open window. She stares at it for a while and eventually her intrusive thought won. Thinking that she could escape by jumping down, she decides to do that. Except she forgets that she's in a haunted mansion. As she comes crashing down, Kat opens her eyes and to no surprise, she is back at the basement. At this point, she accepts her fate and returns to the second floor. While exploring a room on that floor, she hears a knock on the door. It's none other than the stranger. Relief washed over her face, followed by a little anger. She complains to the stranger that she was almost killed by the killer and asks why he didn't stop him. The stranger apologized and explained that the killer was much faster than he thought, but he managed to injure him, so for the time being, it won't chase after her. He then explained what he found out about the mansion. Apparently, the cultists who lived here performed a ritual, but something went horribly wrong and they ended up inviting something else. He then tells Kat that they need to perform a ritual to expel the entity from this mansion so they can escape, and tasks her to find the ritual room. Kat refused to do this at first since she's tired of running. She even suggests they go together, but the stranger declines and tells her that his appearance might shock her. They talk a bit more before the stranger leaves. With the stranger gone, Kat knows she had no choice but to do what the stranger asked her if they ever want to get out of this mansion. She then picks up a flashlight and finds a vent where she can crawl into. But halfway through, the vent collapses and she falls unconscious. When she opens her eyes, she's inside a room with a single door and an angel statue next to it. Stepping inside, she finds a woman facing the wall. Kat approached her, but before she can get close, the woman turns and instantly her blood runs cold as she sees the woman in front of her has hollowed eyes. Gathering all her courage, she runs as fast as she can and manages to escape. The moment she opens the exit door, Kat wakes up and breathes a sigh of relief. Everything was just a dream. After resting for a bit, she returns to the dark room on the first floor. Using the flashlight she obtained, she discovers a hidden passage behind an angel statue that leads her into an underground storage area. Here, she encounters a problem. You see, she discovers an elevator that can take her down to the ritual room, but the problem is there's a weight limit. Since the elevator is empty on the inside, the problem must have been from the top. Using a chair conveniently placed outside of the elevator, she opened the elevator roof cover and... a human skeleton falls down onto her and caused her to lose consciousness. When she wakes up, she finds herself in a hellish place with a
Yeah, this is definitely some genjutsu, bro. How do we go from a mansion to hell? She's literally in hell.
giant eyeball watching her every movement. The only way to avoid its gaze was to crawl down. Slowly, she makes her way to the end of the long walkway. When she reached the end, swarms of small eyeball creatures surrounds her. Just when she thought she will die of suffocation, Kat regained consciousness. After taking a moment to regain her composure, she pressed the down button on the elevator and descends to the ritual room. Exploring the left side area, she finds a note left by one of the cultists with a password for the second floor attic. As soon as she picks up the letter, this happened. An eyeball creature appears and chases after her. This is the same creature she saw in her dream. Running away like her life depends on it, she managed to escape the creature and hides inside an empty cupboard. After a while, the creature leaves, giving Kat the opportunity to run towards the elevator and return to the upper floor. As soon as she steps outside of the elevator, she hears the stranger's voice. Relief washes over her face and she immediately tells him about the encounter with the monster. The stranger goes quiet for a bit before telling her that he believes the monster is real, but still they have to perform the ritual no matter what the situation they're facing. Kat, who was shaken up by what happened earlier, refused that idea. The stranger goes quiet again before letting out a sigh and telling her that he'll handle the creature, but in return he wants Kat to find him 3 important items to be used for the ritual: a candle, thread, and a red spider lily flower. After obtaining all of the items, Kat goes back down and proceeds to the ritual room, but along the way she is chased once again by the creature. Luckily, she managed to hide from it inside a locker, but she can't help but wonder if the stranger is actually doing his job. She eventually passes out due to exhaustion and wakes up to find out that she's now back in the hellish world, being chased by the hollow-eye woman from before. After successfully escaping the woman, she wakes up and finds out the creature is gone, and a note was left on the floor by the stranger. He mentioned that he took the ingredient with him and tells Kat to find him once she's awake. Kat wasted no time and began searching. It takes her a while, but eventually she managed to find the stranger in a dark room. The stranger explained that he didn't have time to fix the generator since he was busy killing the creature. He then tells her that they should perform the ritual as soon as possible and hands her a key. This key will open the storage room and the stranger wants her to fix the generator. Kat is hesitant at first, but the stranger reassured her that the creature will not bother her anymore. Before she leaves, the stranger instructs her that once she's done fixing the generator, he wants her to find the chalice and meet him at the altar. It takes her a while to find the chalice and fix the generator, but once she's done, they finally have light and can now begin the ritual. When Kat arrives at the ritual room, the stranger is already there. He then instructs Kat to put the chalice on the altar and then the red spider lily. Everything is going smoothly until the part where they need a sacrifice.
I was just about to say, what if this all was just a trap? And here we are. The trap.
The stranger asks her to cut her own finger and put it in the chalice. Kat is surprised to hear this and refuses to do it. She begins questioning the stranger's weird request. Frustrated by her delay, the stranger steps out of the shadow. It's revealed here that the stranger is none other than the killer himself.
Okay. That's a good plot twist.
Or herself.
Okay, actual good plot twist. What the heck? How does that make any sense?
Because what happened after this shocked our protagonist. The killer then removes her mask and reveals herself to be none other than Kat herself, another version of her who seems to have lost an eye. This surprised Kat and fills her with more questions, but the other Kat doesn't seem to care to explain anything. She demands that Kat sacrifices her finger, but our protagonist refuses and this infuriates the other Kat. A fight breaks out between the two where our protagonist wins. Kat pins down the other cat and demands to know the truth, but the other cat starts begging to our protagonist and tells her that she's out of time. Before she can explain what she means by this, tentacles start bursting out of her missing eyeball. The pain is too much for her and she dies. After she dies, Kat searches her body and finds a note detailing her plan and the ritual. Reading through it, Kat realized that she was telling the truth. Performing the ritual is the only way out of this hellish mess. Without any delay, Kat proceeds with the ritual. She sacrifices her finger and chants, "I sacrifice with thee." The place shakes as she chants those words, yet Kat doesn't stop and continues on. Eventually, the shaking stops. Looking around the room, she finds out that it's empty. Kat finds this odd but doesn't have time to think about it since all she wants to do is get out of this place. The game ends with Kat successfully escaping the place but losing her sanity and was hospitalized. The camera then focuses on Kat facing the window. In that moment, lightning strikes outside and the reflection reveals some tentacles coming out, suggesting that Kat might have been possessed by the creature that chased her in the mansion.
I was about to say, is that the end of the video? There's still a good chunk other endings. Crazy. They've got multiple endings.
So, Cat in the Box has a total of 3 endings and 2 standard bad endings. And to be honest, all of them are not good. What I meant by this is that it doesn't end well for the girl. Sure, in the true ending titled Divine, she escapes the mansion, but at the end, it's shown to us that something possessed her. With that being said, let's talk about the other ending. Starting with the first ending titled Deceive, after doing everything the stranger told her, our protagonist completes the ritual. And just as she thinks she's home free, reality hits her. She realizes that the stranger tricked her. When she opens the front door, instead of seeing the world outside, it leads her back into the storage room, the first place where she met the stranger. She searched around the mansion, calling for the stranger, but to no avail. The stranger has abandoned her, a betrayal that she did not expect. In the ending titled Epitaph, if the girl questioned the stranger, she will eventually get fed up with her and reveals her identity. A fight breaks out and the girl manages to win against her other self and completes the ritual. However, instead of using her own finger as a sacrifice, the girl sacrificed her other self. The ritual then proceeds like in the true ending and succeeds. The girl is able to escape the mansion and the scene cuts to her back at home. But just before we thought things will end nicely, the scene abruptly changed to the girl lying face down on the ground. It's revealed here that she jumped off a cliff and killed herself. Finally, in the ending titled Rome, if the girl leaves the mansion, she's stuck in a never-ending loop. This is the easiest ending to get, but like I said in the beginning, there is no happy ending. Even in this ending, the girl is stuck roaming the mansion for eternity. So in addition to the 3 endings available, there are also 2 standard bad endings. This can be triggered during the struggle between the girl and her other self. If the girl failed the quick time event, her other self will stab the girl's eye and then offer it as a sacrifice. The other girl completes the ritual and escapes. Meanwhile, our protagonist wakes up not long after that and begins complaining about how her left eye itch. However, if the girl managed to win against her other self but leaves without finishing the ritual, this will trigger the second bad ending. As soon as she leaves the door, the tentacle creature that appears before chases after her and kills her. So what exactly happens in the game Cat in the Box? Why is this happening to the girl? Well, to understand that, we need to look back at its prequel game titled Stygian. In Stygian, 3 people
Okay, I did not know that. We got a prequel that's related to this. Okay.
are trapped in a maze dungeon. They must find a way out while also avoiding being hunted down by a one-eyed tentacle creature. Now, one of the main characters in that game is our protagonist's sister. At the end of Stygian, it's revealed that the sister was possessed by the creature who was stalking them the entire time. But through the selfless act of one of the main characters, she's freed from the creature's possession and returns to her normal life. Now, how does that connect with Cat in the Box? Well, you see, in this game, the cult is the cause of this mess. Inside one of the rooms in the basement, you can find the cult leader's journal. In that journal, it's stated that they tried to summon a god using old knowledge found from a book. Things didn't go well and they ended up summoning something else. My guess is that they found a book from the same maze dungeon that the girl's sister escaped from. That book contained knowledge on how to summon the tentacle creature. The cult mistakes it for a godly being and summons it, not knowing that they summoned an eldritch being, and that creature wipes out the entire cult, takes over the whole place, and creates an environment similar to the dungeon in Stygian where there's a looping maze. This is where the Schrodinger's cat theory fits in. Now, Schrodinger's cat is a famous thought experiment in quantum mechanics illustrating the concept of quantum superposition, where a cat in a sealed box is linked to a random atomic event, making it seem both alive and dead simultaneously until observed. I know that's big brain wording, but basically they tried experimenting on a cat by putting it inside a sealed box with dangerous stuff in it, such as a radioactive source, a hammer, and a vial of poison. Until that box is open, we don't know the state of the cat. The cat could either be dead or alive. In Stygian, the character experienced a never-ending loop until one of them sacrificed themselves. Now, how does this connect with the game? Well, our protagonist is literally experiencing this situation. Until you open the box, you don't know if the cat is dead or alive, so the cat can be both dead and alive at the same time. This is the sentence you see at the start of the game, and it perfectly mirrors the girl's situation. The building is the box, and to an extent, all of its surrounding as well. That's why even if the girl gets out of the building, she is still screwed. The girl is the cat sealed inside the box. Now, why do we see multiple of them? Well, this goes back to the Schrodinger's cat theory. Until you open the box, you won't know whether the cat is dead or alive, so multiple versions of the cat exist. That's the reason why we see multiple versions of the girl. Which also means everything you see in that mansion, the skeleton, the piles of dead body, the hooded figure, all of that was the girl's copy. But something still
That's really smart. I rate that. That's a good plot point.
isn't right. We know how it started, but not the reason. What was the reason the girl go through all of this? Well, I don't think it's a coincidence she was put into this situation. One of the girl in that game was none other than the big sister for the girl in Cat in the Box. In that game, she was possessed. Or to be more precise, the tentacle creature killed her and possessed her body. Its goal was to get out of the maze, and it summoned these humans so they could be used as sacrifice. The sister is a smart girl, and with every loop she figured out the creature's motive and always managed to expose it to the other characters, making it impossible for the creature to sacrifice one of them. In the last loop, the creature killed the girl first before she could even expose it and took over her body. Now things should have gone smoothly, but one of the characters remembers the previous loop and foils the creature's plan. Because of this, the time loop is destroyed and the sister managed to recover and wakes up from her coma. Now if you're confused why she's alive even though she's been killed in the other world, well apparently before this they were involved in some kind of an accident and the creature pulls their soul to the other world. This is why you see a lot of souls at the beginning of the game. So when its plan failed, the creature had no other choice but to abandon that body, allowing the sister's soul to return to her body and recover fully. So imagine the creature's anger knowing that its plan failed. Luckily, some idiot cult found a book and summoned it, thinking that the creature was some kind of a god. The creature realized that it could use this opportunity to leave the dungeon maze, so it used this opportunity to kill off all the cultists and make the place its own. Now call it bad luck or coincidence, but the girl from Stygian has a little sister, and since the creature possessed the sister and used her as a host in the past, this makes the girl in Cat in the Box a great candidate for the next host. But in order to possess her, she needed to perform the ritual. This time, the ritual was successful and the creature was able to get a new host. This is why at the end, we see the girl somehow looking empty inside. The silhouette at the end confirms that the creature has now possessed the girl.
Oh, snap. Okay, so now there has to be a sequel to this, right?
Thank you guys so much for watching. Cat in the Box is a great game. I love how it ties in with the previous game, and incorporating Schrodinger's cat theory and time loop is such a great move. I really need more games like this. Anyway, enough blabbering. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you enjoyed my video, don't forget to subscribe so you get to see more content like this. Like the video so I'll know you enjoyed this. Check out my previous video if you haven't yet, and become a member to support the channel and get more interesting stuff on this channel in the future.
That was a W video. This guy's videos are hard to react to because I'm like so locked in to the story of the game. I don't even know what to say. W reddoliche for playing these horror games, and then this one is a sick game. Low key, I want to play this. This is the cat in the box concept on Steam. Noise video. W video. I know this was a very lackluster reaction. Well, this guy's videos is honestly hard to react to. But if you guys like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, thanks for staying till the end and subscribe for more horror reactions and games content. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.